Hey guys, this is Metallagamer here. Today I'm bringing you my review of Thief, the 2014 version. The game is out for Xbox One, PS4, PC, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360. The game has been getting a lot of bashing. It just came out, and it's one of the first games after launch to come out for next-gen consoles. It's been getting so many bashings, and you know, I've played it for a little while. I do see why in some aspects, but then, you know, for what it is, it's not terrible. I'll kind of just get on straight to the reasons why and explain myself a little bit, explain why it's not as bad as some people are saying. I'm not going to lie, there are a lot of negatives, but there are some positive aspects as well. The game looks great on any console. It looks amazing. The environments, the characters, the items, just everything. The game flows well. It looks nice. It looks good at whatever frame rate it is flowing at. I think it might be 60 frames per second. And if that's the case, it looks amazing. The movement is very fluid. It's very quick. If you see, there's little things like even if you turn a corner while you're running, you'll kind of see him curve like you actually would. It doesn't just straight go a 90-degree angle. If you turn it, it doesn't go at a very sharp angle. You actually see your character curve. So things like that, the little subtle things, are very nice to see. For the Thief fans, it gives you a variety of difficulties, including a challenge mode and a create your own difficulty mode. This is very nice because some people, you know, they'll play games like this and not like the difficulty settings set forth. The ability to create the game how you want it allows for replay value. There, of course, are achievements or trophies tied with this, and you know that does take factor, but it allows you to create a difficulty and it multiplies it. Okay, say example, you choose medium mode, you'll get so many points for each additional thing that makes the game more difficult, such as making it to where you're not allowed to knock out enemies, making it to where they're a lot tougher, you know, things like that. Like they have a lot of stuff that goes into the create your own difficulty mode. And like I said, it is nice if you're a long time Thief player. Unfortunately, I'm not. This is my first entry to the series, so I've heard that this isn't the best entry to start with. I've heard one of the better ones is Thief Gold. Me, myself, I'm more of a console gamer, so I do play a lot of games on consoles, which is why this is the first Thief that I've played. Alright, so I much regret having to do this, but I do have to jump into the negatives. As there are a lot of negatives, they all intertwine and impact all the same, and they do show. The biggest problem is limitations. It was expected that you were going to have a lot more to do. It was expected that you were going to be able to do a lot more. The game flows nice with its parkour style. You hold one button and you can kind of do whatever you need to do. You can vault over things, you can run quickly, you can climb up walls, it's really nice. It's a nice system that also looks beautiful. Personally, I don't think the game is a bad game. It could have been a lot more. It's not a convincer. It's not going to convince people who are on edge of buying an Xbox One or a PS4. It's not going to convince them to do so. It's not by any means revolutionary. It's not anything out of the ordinary. But it was supposed to be an amazing stealth title. It just didn't hold up to its expectations. The game does feel very linear. It gives you the look that it's open world, but it really isn't. You kind of just follow the icon that tells you where to go, in and out, up and down, wherever it is. It just tells you where to go, and it doesn't leave you exploring too much because you kind of just go on to the next mission. You'll go into a chapter, finish up that area, and then you'll leave, give whoever whatever item you stole, and then you'll kind of go on to the next thing. And like I said, it's just follow the icon. It's given to you way too easily, and I just felt like it took away from the challenge in a way. There's still a lot of stuff you have to do on your own, so it does have its challenge, but I felt like in that aspect it doesn't leave you any room to look around. You kind of just go on to the next icon because it kind of tells you where to go. A lot of people saw a game changer within this stealth title, but it was much less than that, unfortunately. There's nothing extraordinary about it. Like I said, it's not a bad game. The combat is solid. And the thing is, too, it plays like a stealth game. It doesn't focus on combat. It focuses on you being stealthy. Counts on you being stealthy. If you aren't stealthy, it can screw you up. If you are stealthy, you are rewarded properly. There's lots of gadgets that you can use that will, say, deactivate traps, open safes, so you can remove paintings that are bolted onto walls and take all the valuables that you find. Anybody who's played this will know about the black cloud. The black cloud is an indicator that senses if you are seen or if you are non-seen. You have a little icon in your corner. If you can be seen by anybody, then it'll turn white. If you are invisible, well, hidden, then it's black. But also, when you are invisible / hidden, it turns the entire outer edge, probably about an inch of the screen, turns it all kind of this clouded black. So it really does look like a tunnel vision. I personally didn't like it. After a certain period of time, you kind of get used to it. But in the first 3 or 4 hours of me playing, it was a serious nuisance. It bothered the crap out of me. It hindered what you could see, made it to where you pretty much had to be staring at things that you wanted to see. And it kind of ruined your peripheral vision. And in a stealth game, you kind of need that. There's also there's a focus vision, which is done very nice. You can see enemies, you can see usable items. If there's a vase that's breakable or interactable, you can see it, and it'll point it out in a bright blue, so that way you can easily see it and use it. If there's items that are stealable that you can grab for money, then you will see them. And then for you Fallout and Oblivion fans, you're not limited on what you can grab. You don't have a certain load with the things you steal. So steal away, guys. If you see a chalice that is worth 2 gold, you grab that shit. Because I know in games like Fallout and Oblivion, well, I know me, I'm a grabber. When it comes to Fallout and Oblivion, games like that, in the very beginning, I grab everything that's worth a penny. I grab everything so I can sell it. In this, you can do that. And it's one of those things, like, it makes you feel maniacal because you're stealing everything. The little things that don't matter. You steal a plate. You steal a fork off the plate. And then you steal the food next to it. And it's funny because you just feel like, ha ha ha, I steal everything. One of the things that too bothered me, there's quite a bit of load times. The load times aren't long, granted, but they're often. If you're in a chapter, you typically don't have very many load times. You have maybe 1 or 2. But going from zone to zone, there's a city, there's a main city that you explore, and there's about 5 or 6 zones. And you have to hit the same load times between each of them, because usually the zone you have to go to is in the middle. Okay, so with all that said, I know my review for Thief does sound like it is completely negative. I promise it's not. It does have a lot of negative points, but it does have its positives. For what it is a fairly decent game. The stealth segments do work well. The tools that you can use are very nice and creative, and it makes you feel like a thief. It's limited. That was my biggest problem, was that there's so much more that could have been allowed to happen with this game, but didn't. And it does make me sad, because I was very excited to play this. This was going to be the game that kind of made my choice to move to next gen or not. And when the reviews started coming out at like 6s and 5s out of 10, it worried me. So, with all that said, I'm going to give Thief a 73 out of 100. The reason I'm willing to give it a 73 out of 100 instead of much lower is because, like I said, the game itself was not bad. There was just a lot of woulda, coulda, shouldas, but unfortunately they didn't. Like I said, as before, it's not a bad game, just there wasn't enough content for this to be the game changer for next gen. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for you today. I do appreciate you guys watching my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it's helped in your decisions whether or not to buy this game. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe. If you have any suggestions, any questions, let me know in the comments section below. I will see you next time, gamers. Stay metal and fucking game on.